Hello everyone, I hope you have a great weekend. Today is 30th of April, now it's 9:30 in the morning Moscow time. I'm Levan Gudadze and this is my first update for today, in which I will share all the latest news that are making headlines in Russian media outlets and Russian language pages for this moment. Unfortunately, yesterday I did forget to mention that for today I was planning to have a day off. Me and my family, we are planning to go to Moscow, and I will use that opportunity to make some additional content for Patreon, and I will try to make extra for this channel also, and upload video from phone from Moscow. If I manage this to do, I will try. But anyway, because I did not, I forgot to mention that I want to have a day off today, I will make this short, relevantly short update. And yes, let's. And by the way, unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to be active in comment sections. Please forgive me for that, because I'm trying as much as I can to react on all your comments. So today I don't have such an opportunity because I don't really very friendly with the phone, to be honest. I'm operating usually with notebook. So that's been said, let's talk about news now, and I will start with Ukrainian special military operation. First news that I like to share with you is reported by RIA Novosti. They had an interview with Wagner fighter, and according to this news, Wagner fighters are estimating that they will establish full control over the Artyomovsk or Bakhmut fairly soon. This statement says word skoro, which is very soon or soon. So as you know, Wagner always was quite conservative in the estimations. Whenever they talk about time scales of how long it will take for Russian side to establish full control over the Bakhmut, and if now Wagnerites are saying that they will take full control over the Bakhmut in a fairly short amount of time, probably they have a good reasoning to say something like that. And I believe if that's the case, then in next 2 or 3 days time, this long story of battle for Bakhmut will probably end. Let's continue with some other news, and this is TASS news agencies. And by the way, when it comes to frontline, it's I will open now map, but it's usual. It's usual stuff. It's usual stuff. Kherson region and Zaporozhye region, it's artillery duels, and Donetsk region is active as always, and of course Bakhmut. Rest of the front line is mainly artillery duels between the sides. So let me continue. I will check Bakhmut, for example. I don't think this pro-Ukrainian map did make any updates. Yes, they didn't even update yet. Once Bakhmut will be under full Russian control, then this map probably will give us some new addition of the situation in the front line. Let's continue anyway, and this is TASS news agency report, according to which, and this news bulletin is based on article in Washington Post. So Washington Post basically is writing that US did lost some crucial support of some crucial states in the Southeast Asia region, and I will agree, US did lost support of many countries, not just in Southeast Asia, all around the world, because of the policies of extremely inadequate policies of Biden and his administration. But in this article of Washington Post, they were writing about Brazil, Egypt, India, and Pakistan. Well, I don't really understand why Washington Post is surprised that Brazil, Egypt, India, and Pakistan is not very keen to conduct some anti-Russian or extremely anti-Russian actions. When it comes to Brazil, Brazil is a part of BRICS, member of BRICS, and recently President of Brazil, Lula, did demonstrate that he is not for not supporting any prolongation of conflict in Ukraine, and he is all for peace. He visited China just recently, and he was talking about peace in China. He was talking about peace when he returned to Brazil. He was very critical of U.S. stands when it comes to Ukraine conflict. He did criticize UK and EU. And yes, Brazil, I don't think Brazil ever was, in recent decades, strategic partner in warmonger enterprises of West. Brazil was, as I understand, always trying to stay on the good side of history, and they did manage this. But once Brazil became part of BRICS, it's done deal. They always will be on the side of multipolarity and more stability and prosperity for this world. When it comes to Egypt, Egypt did establish great relationships with Russia for a while now. I mean, good relationships between Cairo and Moscow have its beginnings, its roots in the fight of independence in fight of Egypt for independence. So we are talking about previous century. And since then, not that much really has changed. Yes, during the Cold War, at some point in late 80s, 90s, yes, Egypt did become more dependent on US, and Egypt's military did had quite a good relationship with the US military, but still, Egypt's elites, they are not really. They don't really act as enemies of Russia, so I don't really understand why Washington Post or anyone would think that Egypt will take an anti-Russian stance. They may be forced to do something that they don't really want to. For example, produce some shells for USA, so that then USA will transfer those shells to Ukraine. Washington has enough force to, impose such a will on many countries in this world still. But yet again, India is not India, but Egypt is, if not strategic partner of Russia, they're definitely on good terms, on friendly terms with Russia. So no surprise there. India is also a long time friend of Russian. Moscow and New Delhi had decades and decades of friendly relationships. So for someone to imagine that India will take anti-Russian stand, it's just, that person should probably knows nothing about India, Russia, about relationships between the countries, and about history, basically, and the modern geopolitics. And when it comes to Pakistan, Pakistan is, yes, Pakistan did supply some weapons, as I understand, to Ukraine, but in that case, as I understand, Pakistan was wanted to receive some parts for tanks that they bought in Ukraine. So it was maybe forceful. They may be forced to do something like that to give some support to Zelensky's regime at some stage, but still Pakistan is, as I understand, keeping itself on distance from this conflict as much as possible. And also no surprises there, because Pakistan is a, let's say, strategic partner for China, to China. And if China is taking a neutral stance at this point, then it's not surprised that Pakistan is also taking neutral stand. Because, as I said, these two countries in last decades did establish great relationships, great partnerships, and I don't think Pakistan will ruin its relationships with China for US elites or for EU elites and their geopolitical games. I don't think so. And Pakistan do needs China because of quite difficult relationships between Pakistan and India. We all understand that. So yes, maybe Washington Post is surprised. Maybe some other journalists in other Western propaganda outlets are surprised, but me personally, no. Many countries, not just these 4 countries, but many countries, I mean, majority of countries really in this world, supporting Russia, openly or not, but they are on Russian side. Let's continue now, and some unfortunate, tragic news from Bryansk region. Yesterday, Zelensky's regime did shell Bryansk region of Russian Federation, and as a result, 2 civilians were killed during this strike. Yet again, Zelensky's regime is openly demonstrating its true face. They are terrorists. They are terrorists. That's it. Let's continue. Kommersant newspaper is writing that United Kingdom is planning to buy some medium and long range tactical missiles, and then, as I understand, London is planning to transfer these weapons to Zelensky's regime. Yet again, from London, from current UK leadership, you're gonna expect anything, just anything really. That's why no surprises here. But if London right now is planning to purchase some missiles for Ukraine, when these missiles gonna be ready and when they gonna deliver these missiles, I mean, it will take at least 3 to 5 months to receive first bunch of these missiles. So what this article really highlights is that London is trying to prolong this conflict as much as they can, but this is a kind of desperate measure at this point from UK's government, because they lost, they know it, and no matter what kind of weapons they're gonna send to Zelensky's regime, it will not change outcome of this conflict. Russia destroyed Western elites in this conflict, because this conflict is not between Russia and Ukraine. This conflict is between Russia and Western elites. And for this moment, if we take in account everything that is happening, not just in Ukraine, but in the world, I mean, we can say that Russia did achieve decisive victory already over the criminal Western elites, anti-human Western elites. Let me continue, and this is also Kommersant newspaper's article, according to which Twitter deleted one of the posts of Medvedev, former Russian president and current deputy chairman of Russian Security Council. Medvedev's post was about Poland, and Twitter did notice him that for breaking some Twitter's rules, this post was deleted, and Medvedev did respond on his Russian language Twitter account that how come that he cannot talk about Poland, but other world leaders can talk openly about destroying Russia on very same Twitter platform. And those comments or those posts are somehow not breaking any rules of Twitter. And to be honest, this question is legit, isn't it? Absolutely. You can write any Russophobic crap you want and nothing will happen. But if you write something that will Western elites don't like, it's highly likely that you may lost your account entirely or your tweets will be deleted. So that's what really happened, and Medvedev retweeted his post in few more languages, not just in English, but few more languages. Recently, Medvedev truly become a media person in Russia. He is almost on daily basis in media because he does make some strong statements almost constantly. And maybe this is a part of his future presidential campaign, because he's one of the major candidates to succeed Vladimir Putin, current president of Russian Federation. But and maybe he's acting tough to gain some sympathies from public. That's a possibility. But yet again, to be honest, even me find some tweets of Medvedev, quite extremely strong. And I can write anything like that, maybe, but I'm an ordinary person, I'm an ordinary citizen, and there is not that much responsibility on me when it comes to there is none of responsibilities on me when it comes to some world affairs. But Medvedev is a former president. He is a current high-ranking official of Russian Federation and maybe future president, and that's why maybe this tough stance all the time is not necessarily right way to go. But who am I to judge, really? I'm not judging. He has his team of experts in public relations, and if they recommending him to have this top stance on everything, then okay, or tough stance on everything, okay, it's his business. Let's continue, and this is TASS News Agency's report about statements that Angela Merkel, former German Chancellor, made. To be honest, she did lost any credibility whatsoever, at least in Russia, in Russian eyes, I believe, because just recently she basically openly said, and not just she that, but also many other former or current leaders of EU countries, that they use Minsk agreements as a tool to fool Russia and reinforce Zelensky's regime, or Kiev regime. Zelensky is now head of a regime but before him was other criminal. And after this, no matter what Merkel gonna say, she will never restore her credibility. But she did talk about Ukraine. She said that she did everything possible to make sure that this conflict will not take place, and basically some other crap. I don't know why she did. She did give an interview to Die Zelt newspaper. And to be honest, as I said, I cannot take seriously this person no more. And no matter what she gonna says, she discredited herself just extremely successfully. So yes, but because she gave interview, interesting is why she did become active again. What is behind this? Maybe we will see Merkel in near future in some role of a Brussels bureaucrat. Is this the case? Because I mean, I already forget that she even exists. So why she's active again? Maybe she will take some I don't know. Maybe she will become Brussels EU bureaucrat, or maybe she will, she will become active in German internal politics of Germany again, because current German government is, I mean, total disaster in every sense, But even if Merkel will somehow become active politician in Germany and even chancellor of Germany, it will change nothing. She is discredited for 100%, and it will never change. TASS news agency's report, according to which head of Russian parliament, Russian Duma, with a big delegation visited Cuba, and this is great. I want to share with you this information because, as you know, Cuba is under illegal Western sanctions, illegal US sanctions and embargo for decades and decades, man. And society of Cuba, citizens of Cuba, did suffer a great deal because of these illegal sanctions of US and the West. And to be honest, I truly hope that Russia and China, Brazil, and all the countries of BRICS, really, South Africa, I hope all the countries of BRICS will do their best to somehow support and help Cuba to overcome all the obstacles that this country is facing because of these illegal sanctions and pressure from US and the West. So, I do support Cuba. I support society of Cuba, because I'm always on the side of ordinary humans, because I'm ordinary citizen, and I see other people like me as allies, always. So I hope recently Russian foreign minister did had negotiations with the high-ranking officials of Cuba, including President of Cuba. Now Russian Duma delegation is in Cuba, so I hope something very good will come out of it. And I'm definitely not talking about some Russian military base in Cuba and something like that. No, I'm talking about economical developments, economical and trade relationships between the sides, because I don't think Russia needs military base in Cuba, really. I'm not military expert, but relationships between Russia and US are already so bad that I don't think additional steps towards further escalation from one of the sides will do any good to anyone in this world, really. But when it comes to economical and trade relationships, I hope Russia, China, India, Brazil, and South Africa, countries of BRICS, will play their positive role and will help Cuba to overcome all the obstacles, really, that they are facing because of this illegal Western sanctions. So yes, this is it for now. I hope you will find this short video interesting, and if so, please hit that like button, leave some commentary about any topic you like. When we will return from Moscow, I will go through comment sections and I will try to react on as much comments as I can. And if you can, please share links to my videos or my channel with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, Telegram, or any other platform that you are active on. And at the same time, if you think this channel is interesting, useful, and deserves to exist, please consider to support through PayPal, buy me a coffee, or by subscribing to my Patreon page. I will be very grateful for your support. Yes, that's been said, this is it for now. I will try to make some short additional video, short extra from Moscow if I manage it, because as I said, when it comes to some technical stuff, I'm just learning right now how to do this, how to do that, and if I manage to upload video from Moscow from phone, I will do it. I will give you some extra. If not, then see you tomorrow. Have a nice day and take care.